Hello, crafters and non-crafters alike, and this is a bit of a different video. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna address one thing. I've been gone for a long time on YouTube anyways. Not that I've been actually gone, but I haven't been posting content. And my reasoning is multiple things. I couldn't find like a long enough time where I had like quiet. I haven't been home for some of the time, and overall I've just been busy, and I won't really be having a lot of quiet time due to school, since I'm back in school. I'll try to find time to fit in videos. Another reason why, though, I haven't been uploading anything recently is because I'm starting to use new software, and I need time to learn to use it. So I need a bit more practice, which avoiding making videos probably isn't the way to go about that. I understand this. And I apologize for not making any videos for anyone who actually does like my content. It's just that I have not found any great periods of time to make new content. So, my deepest apologies. But, that's not what this video is about. As most of you might know, Pikmin 4 has recently been announced to be close to completion. So I'm going to be talking about that and other stuff. So, Pikmin 4. Pikmin 3 ended with Alf, Brittany, and Charlie and Olimar leaving the planet and Louie being left behind. So I'm going to start off with what I feel the plot and basically the goal might be. I feel that Pikmin 4 will probably start out with the main objective to be to get Louie, and the sub-objective to be to get treasure to pay off the debt that Olimar and his company are in. And we know that Olimar is under a debt because he has stated it in Pikmin 3, and not only that, but his whole hoard of treasure has kind of been lost due to his ship being crushed by the Quagmire-Clops. So there's that. So yeah, that's what I feel might be the plot. Now I'm going to address characters. Alright, so I feel that the main cast of characters that you will probably be playing as will be Olimar, due to going back to the planet to get Louie, Alf, and Charlie. And why I feel Alf and Charlie is because Olimar doesn't have a ship anymore. So he would need at least Captain Charlie being another captain, and being the captain of the SS Drake, and Alf, who is the maker and technician or engineer of the SS Drake. I also have a slight feeling that the President might either make an appearance in Pikmin 4, like a direct appearance and not just an Easter egg, or he'll not only will he make a direct appearance, but he might be playable as well, which is hinted at by certain notes that Olimar makes during the span of Pikmin 3, like during his little notes. So that's how that's what I feel about the characters. I feel that those characters are going to be the ones. Louis might possibly be playable at some point or another, but who knows. And now I'm going to move on from characters to Pikmin. Alright, so I'm going to first address what Pikmin I feel might return. As we all know, the red, yellow, and blue Pikmin will always be returning. Those are the 3 base Pikmin. They never get removed, and they're always discovered in that order, with blue always being the last Pikmin discovered, unless you count Bulbmin. So, now how about other returning Pikmin, though? I have a feeling they might actually not have... Okay, so I feel they might not actually have many new Pikmin, and I feel it might focus more on the returning Pikmin. So I feel that whites and purples might reappear. And I hope that they finish up the purple Pikmin, because let's admit, the purple Pikmin were not finished in Pikmin 3. They have the animation for the thud, but they don't do any extra damage or latch on when they hit an enemy. In fact, they do almost no damage on impact. And they don't really attack much stronger than any other Pikmin. So I feel that they probably need to work on the purple Pikmin. And I feel that the white Pikmin should appear in the story mode as well, being used once again for their poison resistance. And who knows, maybe they'll even have some other ability. Pikmin 3 kind of didn't make use of the ability that they have where they can see underground. Which I kind of dislike that about what Pikmin 3 did. Because in Pikmin 3, they were never needed to find things that were underground. Everything that was underground always showed a lump. So you never had a hard time finding it, and the other Pikmin knew where it was because of the lump. So I feel that if they do add the white Pikmin back in, I want them to have their ability to see underground again. And maybe they will be able to see things that are underground that aren't shown by lumps in the ground, possibly. But who knows. I at least hope, though, that they have their poison resistance, which they were still poisonous to enemies in Pikmin 3, so they might still have their poison resistance. But who knows. Back to purple Pikmin, though. How I feel that they should be done is they should have their carrying strength and heaviness of 10 Pikmin, but maybe how they should work in combat is their normal attack should be about as strong as a red Pikmin, maybe even a slight bit stronger. Or at least they would be as strong as a red Pikmin. I would like them to also maybe have impact damage the same way that the rock Pikmin have it, but maybe they would not. Maybe they'd be able to cling on, unlike the rock Pikmin. I don't want their stun, because that was overpowered. And I don't want their ability to hit through enemy shells, because they were able to hit enemies with their thud that hit through the enemy's barrier if the enemy did have a barrier. So I want that to be removed. Let's see. So, other returning Pikmin. I have a feeling that the rocks and Pikmin will return. I don't feel that they should do anything with the rock Pikmin. They were pretty much perfectly balanced and whatnot. But I feel that the winged Pikmin could use some improvement. I kind of think that they should nerf them, actually. Not in attack strength, they're fine on that. But I feel that the fact that they can fly to just about anywhere gives them way too much power than they should have. Like, they kind of replace yellow Pikmin to an extent. At least with their ability to get things from about anywhere. So, and they did break a lot of puzzles. Like, they made it possible to skip a lot of puzzles. Which, Pikmin's about the puzzles and all of that. So I feel that they should make it so maybe they can't fly to a specific height. Or maybe there would be a stamina meter or something. Maybe not like a visible stamina meter for them, but like some kind of stamina meter that stops them from being able to get everything that is up high. I'm fine with some things being able to be obtained by them, but if you allow them to get everything, it kind of defeats the purpose of yellow Pikmin. So that's what I feel about like any Pikmin that would be returning. I feel that they could return Bulbmin, but only if they were in the same situation that they were in before, or if they were able to go onto the surface. I feel that they should at least weaken their attack strength. I mean, they were weaker, or at least it did seem like they were weaker than normal Pikmin with their attack strength, but I say that they should be as weak as a wing Pikmin. Also, I dislike that the white Pikmin, like, I completely understand it, I guess, but I dislike that the white Pikmin were really weak. I feel that if they were going to be weaker, they should be as weak as a wing Pikmin, not weaker than a wing Pikmin. Alright, so that's my thoughts on all of the Pikmin that could return. So, new Pikmin. Well, there are possibilities for new Pikmin, but I feel that if they were going to add new Pikmin, any new Pikmin that they add, there should be optional. Or at least one of them, if they're adding more than one of them should be an optional Pikmin type, and not a required Pikmin type. Like a Pikmin type that would be very helpful, but not be necessary for the main core gameplay. Like, for example, if they were to add, I don't know, some kind of Pikmin that was possibly gave like some kind of help with like certain utilities, or helped you to get more nectar, certain things like that. Yeah, I can't really think of anything that they could add really at this point. Ice Pikmin, I suppose, is the most feasible common answer, and where they would be immune to tripping, or at least they wouldn't trip as much. And possibly they would add a ice hazard that could possibly wither the Pikmin, and maybe the ice Pikmin would be immune to this. Also, I feel that the way that withering should go is it should make the Pikmin have a brown stem, or not brown stem, a brown flower, bud, or leaf, and maybe some kind of weird effect over them. And every time, it would, after a few seconds, it would lower the Pikmin's, okay, so say your Pikmin had a flower, it would lower it to a bud, and then after that to a leaf. Once your Pikmin hit leaf, I feel that the wither effect would kill the Pikmin. And this kind of hazard or effect on the Pikmin would be something that you could whistle off of them if you noticed it ahead of time. And possibly it wouldn't necessarily be only ice that withers the Pikmin. It would possibly be other things that wither the Pikmin. But it would also give them a chance to add back in the withery blowhog and certain other enemies like that. I feel that would be a good way to go about it, and possibly they could add in the doodlebug and give it the wither effect instead of poison. And maybe even the smoky prog could be added back in and given the wither effect. So, yeah, that's about as much as I can think of for new Pikmin or hazards and such like that. So, I'm gonna go over some ideas that I've had. One of them I actually have written down, and I actually need to have it written down to explain it. So, and I'll be showing some stuff on screen after I mention these ideas. I'll put a little bit of time to show some stuff off, and I might even have a little image to show what I mean with some of the stuff I'm saying. But alright, so one of my ideas is suit upgrade variations, and this coincides with another person on Pikmipedia with their idea of, before you start the day, being able to equip certain suit upgrades to captains. So I feel that that would work, the whole equipping a suit upgrade to a captain, and it'd be like, say, Olimar could be equipped with Scorch Guard on this day, and Charlie would be given the Dodge Whistle, and maybe Alf would be given the Metal Suit Z, or the Metal Suit Z. So it'd be like that, but like maybe maybe there'd be like more slots, like maybe a whistle upgrade and a suit upgrade slot, or a special upgrade and a suit upgrade. So, sorry for that if you heard that. So I had the idea, though, of suit upgrades, suit upgrade variations. So, like, say there'd be Scorch Guard Alpha, Scorch Guard Beta, Scorch Guard Gamma, and Scorch Guard Omega. And basically how all of these work is Alpha lowers the damage that captains receive from a certain hazard, but they are still stunned. Beta negates damage, but the captains are still stunned. Gamma negates damage, and there's no stunning effect, similar to what we have now. And then Omega would heal the captain when they are being afflicted by the hazard. And basically, the way that you'd unlock all of this is Alpha through Gamma levels would all be found lying around in the maps and maybe underground. So, and then Omega would be different though. You can unlock it for story mode by playing the stages in the challenge mode and getting a platinum rank. I feel like this is the most fair way to go about it, since you'd have to be skilled to get this, and it's a very powerful upgrade. So I feel that that's the most fair way to go about that. Alright, so that's one of my ideas. I'll probably post more. Anyway, I'm gonna go to one of my other ideas. I have an idea that... Okay, so I don't want areas that are based on seasons. I want seasons to happen in specific areas. And that might sound weird, but I'm going to explain right now. So basically, what I feel it should be is that, say you go to one place, and the seasons that you can experience there are summer, winter, and autumn. But in another area, you can experience spring and autumn. And like so on and so forth. And basically, how these seasons would affect it is they would basically change around the enemy locations and such like that. But on top of that, these seasons would affect weather. And these different weathers that could happen during the seasons would also affect the they would affect the area layout, what enemies could appear, and such like that. So, on top of that, I also had the idea, what if the areas were all larger? And what if they could also have multiple base camps? You know, where you land and you can get your Pikmin there and all that. So, I also had an idea for an area, or two areas for Pikmin 4, which one of them would be a combination of the Pikmin 1 maps, with the basically being arranged in like a clock formation, I suppose it could be called. And they would also have, like, in the center, the Forest Naval would be there, and link to all of those. So basically the Forest Naval would be this center hub area that everything would cross into. And maybe you'd be able to find, like, the original Pikmin there. I'm not saying that this is part of my idea, but I'm just adding on to this now. You might be able to find the original Pikmin there, though, or certain things like that. And then there would be an area that is basically the same thing, but it's the Pikmin 3 areas, all combined in a clock-like formation, with the Formidable Oak being in the center. But the Formidable Oak would be the one area that you might not be able to actually land in via finding the base camp, because maybe it might not be connected to the rest of the areas, but instead the Pikmin 3 area might possibly, like, function a bit differently, where you might have to find some kind of thing to enhance the signal, or maybe it might just be unlocked off the bat. Or maybe it just won't be there. That could be a thing too. So, yeah, that's my idea for the areas. Now, regarding caves, I feel that Pikmin 4 should have a mixture of Pikmin 2 and Pikmin 3 caves. Caves that are sub-areas to the normal above-ground area, and caves that are like underground dungeons that are somewhat randomized, possibly, but not completely randomized, I would hope. because I actually didn't like the full randomization of dungeons in Pikmin 4 or Pikmin 2. But I did like the randomization of them. So one other thing I want to address about Pikmin 4 is let's see, what was it? I'll get back to that actually. So on top of that, Mario Maker is coming out relatively soon. In fact, it might actually be out by the time that this video is posted, as there will be some editing obviously done to this video. So I feel that on top of Mario Maker, maybe Nintendo can make a Pikmin Dungeon Maker? Or a Pikmin Mission Control? I don't know. I feel that a Dungeon Maker might work better. And it kind of goes off of this. The dungeons in Pikmin 2, they were basically pieces, preset pieces that you could that were basically pieced together to each other, and they basically made a dungeon like that. They were randomized for partially, but they were all preset pieces that you would put together. And I've seen another maker, not a Nintendo-made maker, mind you, but I've seen another maker, the SCP Containment Breach maker, that basically deals in the same way. Albeit a much scarier maker, but still. So yeah, maybe you'd be able to make your own dungeons and then put in the little pieces for it, like the landing spot, the enemies, and the treasures. And you could maybe put treasures inside of certain enemies to, you know, duplicate the effect that it had in Pikmin 2. And Pikmin 3 even, because there were treasures inside of them. You may be even able to put multiple treasures inside of one enemy. I wouldn't expect more than a limit of 5 per enemy, because I don't think that there's ever been more than 5 or even more than 3 treasures come out of an enemy at once. Ugh, voice crack. So I feel that might be how a Mario Maker style Pikmin dungeon generator or maker might work. I'll make a video about that, how it might work on a later point of time. Also, I remembered what I was going to say. So, about the whole thing with Pikmin 3's objective and all the whole stuff about that, I like the whole fruit mechanic where it adds days. What I didn't like about it was the main objective of the game was to collect fruit, but that also added days, so you never really worried about the days because you were basically doing the main objective. So I feel that fruit shouldn't be the main objective of Pikmin 4, but they should keep it in there. So basically the player would be going out of their way, in a way, to go get these fruits. So it wouldn't you'd have to set out a special time to go collect the fruit during your day, rather than having it be the main objective. Also, right now I'm going to put in a special time for my ideas, or some of them anyway, to be shown. So, right now. And, alright, so, thanks for watching. Now, I'd like to know what you guys feel about Pikmin 4. what are your ideas? Are there anything that you have to say about mine, or do you have any special things that you'd like to see in Pikmin 4? Write it down in the comment section below the video. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more comment, or if you'd like to see more comment, if you'd like to see more content from me, why not subscribe? It helps me out, and you get to. It's basically a bookmark for my channel. So yeah, and then if you like this video, why not give it a like and maybe even favorite it? And while you're at it, might as well go share it with someone. Alright, thanks for watching, and stay crafted.